Alright guys, what better way to talk about the next blockbuster Battlefield game, Battlefield 6, very highly rumored to be in modern times, than to play its best entry in the series, Battlefield 3. I still play this game from time to time and it is always a blast, with a massive player base that's around every single day. I'm gonna say this already, if they make Battlefield 6 something very close to Battlefield 3, but with next gen graphics, that is actually all I need. I would be so happy. But let's not go into these details yet, as today we have just had some pretty big leak news about the next entry in the Battlefield series. First off, with Battlefield 5 wrapping up its content roadmap this year, which was unfortunately pretty fast, DICE and EA are 100% looking to the future right now. Battlefield 5 was the subject to a lot of controversy. Some of it was maybe a bit too much, but plenty of it absolutely justified. As a result, the ambitious roadmap of content updates slowed to a halt and players abandoned the game. Now the Battlefield franchise has its full focus on the next entry, set to release for PS5 and Xbox Series X and also PC in the 2022 fiscal year, which is at the start of October 2021, right up until September 30th of 2022. DICE team is all working on the game and has been putting more and more of its resources into the project in recent months, as we saw in a quick tease during EA Play's digital conference. My bet would be, if the game is far in development, which we don't actually know right now, they could be planning for a 2021 holiday release, as it would be the perfect time. The next gen consoles will celebrate its 1-year anniversary, so maybe there's gonna be some discounts and it'll be the time where people will buy it the most, with new games being released and Christmas on the way. If not, well, I would hope for a early 2022 release. Now let's get into the new leak details that comes from a known insider in both the Battlefield and Call of Duty community. The leaker, Tom Anderson, predicts Battlefield 6 for the first time in the series history will have 128 plus players in multiplayer, making it the true all-out Battlefield game we've been waiting for. According to him, the game's maps that are currently being made at the studio are designed for this number of players, but he himself assumes that DICE will continue to include the usual 32 versus 32 player battles as part of Battlefield 6, with game modes like Rush and Conquest. This 128 player mode will be for something a lot more massive, and no, it is not Battle Royale, even though they could definitely be working on one. According to Anderson in another tweet, Activision had achieved a respectable performance with Call of Duty Warzone, and EA was under considerable pressure. It was only recently announced that around 75 million players have jumped off the plane in Call of Duty's Warzone, so it is no doubt, according to him, that EA could be thinking of a new Battle Royale for the series. It goes without saying that none of this information is official and should be viewed with care, and even though it is credible considering the leaker's past information on upcoming games, much can change from here until the announcement and launch of an inevitable new Battlefield, though seeing a lot more than 100 players at a time in a next-gen FPS game is what I would live for, so I'm incredibly excited to know if it is indeed true. With each Battlefield game comes a key question: when and where is it set? Given that previous entries have had seriously diverse settings, a lot is up in the air on this front. However, most of the rumors we've seen point towards a more modern setting. With Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5, DICE went back to both World Wars to explore an earlier form of combat, but the likes of Battlefield 3 and 4 showed years ago that it can excel at modern combat scenarios. Either way, this is a detail that DICE will be guarding closely until it's ready to fully unveil Battlefield 6. We all know that Battlefield's core formula is unlikely to change, so you can expect big maps, big player counts, and vehicles aplenty. The manner in which the likes of Call of Duty Warzone have upped the player count to highs of 150 and 200 in recent times, which makes all of us hopeful that we could see some truly huge battles unfold in Battlefield 6, and the extremely limited test footage DICE showed at this year's EA Play looks like it promises just that, featuring a huge building collapsing and white box footage of hundreds of soldiers on screen at once. It is an exciting glimpse of things to come for Battlefield fans. The same leaker, Tom Anderson, claimed that a fellow user who praised Modern Warfare 2, 3, and Battlefield would be happy next year. As a result, fans are speculating that Battlefield 6 will take place in a similar setting, but there is also other evidence to support this. The industry insider Jeff Grubb, who is right on almost everything, also claimed that the upcoming Battlefield will take place in a modern setting. While all rumors should be taken with a degree of skepticism until DICE or EA confirms details, there will still be players who are interested in a game that uses this backdrop. Many will now wonder how the game will push boundaries in the next generation of consoles, and whether it will be able to replicate the success of previous titles. There is plenty of speculation about why Battlefield 6 taking place in modern day is a good idea, and it will be interesting to see if the title will implement the lessons learned from previous iterations. Many will argue that Battlefield 5 struggled because of a lack of content and not its historical setting, even though it was a bit weird. DICE did try to redeem themselves a couple of times through a series of many updates, which some were absolutely amazing, but as competition grows, it's even more important to deliver a complete product out of the gate. All things aside, we know that we'll see Battlefield 6 on PS5, Xbox Series X and PC, and I'd expect it to take full advantage of the new graphical capabilities of those consoles. Alright guys, if you'd like to see more Battlefield 6 news on the channel, make sure you drop a like on this video and subscribe to stay tuned. Thanks to Themistocles, Pedro Oliveira and Jigglyboard for being a master member on the channel. You can become a Survivor member for 99 cents only. It'll support me and the channel as a whole. Thanks for watching.